The General Adaptation Syndrome, or GAS, is the theory which is thought to be how our bodies deal with stress in different situations. So it starts with an alarm reaction, then it moves on to resistance, and then to exhaustion. In the alarm reaction, upon perceiving a stressor, the body reacts with a fight or flight response, and the sympathetic nervous system is stimulated. The body's resources are mobilized to meet the threat or danger. In resistance, the body resists and compensates as the parasympathetic nervous system attempts to return many physiological functions to normal levels, while the body focuses resources against the stressor and remains on alert. And in exhaustion, if a stressor or stressors continue beyond the point the body's capacity, the resources become exhausted, and the body is susceptible to disease and death. As the body reacts with the fight-or-flight instinct, the body will stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, and your body will show signs of this. Common signs are that the blood will divert to your muscles and provide them with more oxygen. You may experience a dry mouth or an increase in the breathing rate, and then an increase in your heart rate as well. However, if resistance takes place and your body compensates, the parasympathetic nervous system would try and return many of the physiological factors back to normal. Examples of this could be a decrease in the heart rate, the breathing rate, the muscles and the body would relax, and the body may also experience a slower metabolism rate. Many distress coping techniques are similar to the anxiety coping techniques, and these could include deep breathing, positive self-talk, mental rehearsal. Deep breathing would help to reduce any physical symptoms of the stress, so this would be cognitive, and this is the same for mental rehearsal. However, the positive self-talk technique would be a somatic technique. Planned behaviour theory. So it starts with attitude, and the attitude is what they think about the change or the situation. The subjective norm is the overall opinion of the other people around you in your life, so friends, family, and what their views are upon a new change or situation. The perceived behavioural control is how easy or hard it is to make the change. And the intention, so this is whether or not you actually intend to change. So the other three parts of this need to be present in order to reach the intention, and then all four of the previous parts need to be present for the behaviour, and as a result of the other four stages being present, the performer would show a change, and this would be the change in behaviour. Trans-theoretical theory. So this states that in order to change behaviour, people go through a series of changes, one of which is pre-contemplation. So this is if they're not ready or not wanting to change or take part in exercise. And so this could be not wanting to start exercising. Contemplation is appreciating the changes needed and getting ready for it. Preparation would be so they're ready to start the action within 30 days. The action is that they are starting to take part in the activity, but it's a good start, but they must maintain it. So they've got maintenance, and their behaviour has changed, but now they would want to share the feeling or improve on what they are doing. Otherwise, they would relapse. And termination is the final stage, which is giving up on it, so just completely giving up on exercise or the change. It's not bothered because they've tried it before, it didn't work out. The health belief model explains why people may accept or reject healthy behaviours. The model proposes that people respond best to messages about health or promotion of health. In order to change to take place, all four factors need to be present. So this is perceived susceptibility, perceived severity, perceived benefits, and this is meant to say perceived barriers. So perceived susceptibility is the person's assessment as to how likely they are to get the given condition, so whether it's diabetes. And the perceived severity is how severe the person thinks it would be if they actually got the condition. So if it was diabetes, it would be fairly severe. The perceived benefits, so this is the belief on how effective the advised medicine or action, be it in mitigating the problems of the condition considered in severity. So again, if it's diabetes, so the medicine used would be effective, but it wouldn't cure it, as it were. And the perceived barriers is the person's perception on the difficulties they would encounter in taking the proposed actions. So this includes both physical and psychological barriers. So if they've been told in order to not get diabetes they could go for a run, but then the barriers could be that they make up an excuse. It could be physical or psychological, so they could, oh, my leg hurts, or oh, I don't feel well, just to get out of running. So in order to investigate the 3 psychological factors and its impact on people, we conducted a questionnaire and asked it to random people. As a result of this, these were the results that we got. So this is an example of the questionnaire that we asked. So we asked, in your opinion, what is the most common reason people give for not exercising? Does anyone encourage you to exercise, and if so, who? And just questions based around exercise and their surroundings. So the results of the planned behaviour theory, so 50% of the people asked had a negative attitude towards exercise, and 50% had a positive attitude towards exercise. Out of the people we asked, 75% of the people asked said they would start exercising if the doctor told them to. However, 25% said that they wouldn't and would ignore the doctor's advice. All 100% of the people asked said it's hard to start exercising regardless of if they have motivation or not. And when we asked the reasons why, they said 75% of them said laziness, and the other 25% said that their attitude is that exercise is boring. When asked why people should exercise, 50% said it improves health, 50% said it's fun, and this is an easy way to meet people and socialise. Despite the fact 100% of people said it's hard to start exercising, 75% of the people that we asked actually do exercise themselves. The reasoning for starting is split between health and benefits of health benefits and meeting new people. This is reflective of social norms. So the trans-theoretical theory results is that so for the pre-contemplation phase, so they don't want to exercise, 25% of people said they would not exercise regardless to motivation or health-related issues. Contemplation, so 100% of people asked were not contemplating exercise as they were already doing it. I had no intention of doing it at all. None of our data, unfortunately, none of our data supported the preparation phase of this theory. However, 75% of the people asked were at the action phase of this theory, and 0% of them had terminated an exercise program, as none of them had actually done an exercise program. Overall, we think that the trans-theoretical theory cannot be applied to our data, as nobody changed. In order to change this, we could collect more data by asking more people, getting a wide range of results. Health belief model. 75% of people we asked gave an answer of 5 or below, on a scale of 1 to 10, saying how severe they think the health risks of not exercising is. So this leads us to think that they don't think the outcomes will happen to them. So this is severity and susceptibility. 50% of the people we asked said there were health benefits to exercising, and a further 25% said they saw social benefits. So this would be perceived benefits. 75% of the people said that laziness was the most common reason as to why people don't exercise. And out of this, 25% of them said it was due to physical barriers, and 50% said it was due to psychological barriers as to why they didn't exercise. 50% of people asked said they would definitely do exercise based on the doctor's recommendation.